Pavlina from Pavlina's Kids Place. I'm here in New York City, and I'm here with GoldFord. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. A little tired, but we're good.
Welcome
That's
to
great.
New York.
Yes, thank you. This is amazing. So we're at the recording studio right now. This is so exciting.
Obviously, we have Biggie here.
Oh yeah, that's very important. Okay, do you see Biggie in the background? Like, yes.
Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, that's right. That's amazing. So tell me how you got into music.
I've always been a big fan of music, but I never thought I could do music or sing or play music. So I went to college and I lived with a bunch of guys in this house, and I would always sing in the shower and in the car, and I was always too afraid to try singing out in public in front of people. So I would sing in the shower, and this house had like this big communal bathroom with 3 shower stalls, and I would sing in the shower, and I didn't think anybody was home, and some of my roommates heard me and they were like, dude, you don't suck. And then it kind of escalated from there to open mic nights to starting a band in college, and then like once I started I was hooked, and it just kept going from there. So
that's awesome. And you kind of have like a rock and soul sort of style. So can you just tell me about that and how that kind of, and like your influences that kind of got you to that rock and soul style?
Yeah, so I grew up listening to, my dad had me listening to 2 types of music a lot. It was like classic soul, like Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, Al Green, Sam Cooke, and then a lot of the rock and the folk stuff. So Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Kenny Loggins, and Michael McDonald, and Bob Dylan, and all the classic rock. So as I was growing up, I was just strongly listening to these 2 types, which they're fairly broad, but they kind of came together. And when I started making music, it was the amalgamation of the 2, I guess.
Yeah, those are like the best 2. So like there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So tell me about your debut album, Shed a Light.
So Shed a Little Light, I did out in Los Angeles, and did it with the talented Danny Jameson and Ethan Phillips, and we weren't trying to capture any particular sound. We just had a bunch of great songs that we were going to record and try to treat each musical style for that song. So there was a lot of different styles on that album. There was soul, and there was some folk, and there was a couple elements of country, and there was some throwback soul, and it was really just me saying I don't really care. I'm going to try to just have fun and record the best song and put it on the album, not necessarily picking the most direct colors or theme for the album. So it actually turned out great that way.
Yes, and you recently had a new single come out, right?
Yes.
Yes, can you tell me about that new single?
So Style Like You, which we're going to release early November, is... So I moved to Nashville about a year ago, and there's this coffee shop I always go to. And there's this girl that always comes in around the same time. And I mean, she's hot, but it's not necessarily about her look. It's more just about like her essence, her aura. And when she walks in, every time the way she walks in, everybody just kind of like stops what they're doing, and they can't stop looking at her. And she just captivates the room. And no matter what she's wearing or how she's doing it, it's just really her presence. And it kind of inspired the song Style Like You, which is just, she has no idea that I wrote this about her, but...
Next time you see her, you can just be like, oh, by the way.
I can just casually say.
Yeah, just grab your coffee, and she just happens to be standing there.
There was a song on my last album, Ray of Sunshine, which is a similar story, but it was a cafe, and it was a waitress. But so I guess I seem to be inspired by these random characters, but I'm very appreciative.
Yes, that's great. It's you never know where you're gonna get your influence. That's great stuff, though. So, what are you recording in the studio now? Like, how have your sessions been going so far?
So it's been going great. Been writing a lot here in Brooklyn, in California, and then in Nashville a lot. So we're still just writing and writing and writing. So we're actually working on a new song today that we started today. Brought the idea in, and we all started just vetting this thing out, and it sounded really cool, and I'm sure you guys will get a small taste, but it's about getting the right song. So written, 200 songs this past year, and really trying to find the right combination of songs for this next album that we'll be putting out soon.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, where can people find your music, hear your music, all that stuff?
You can find my music on Pandora and on Spotify. You can find me on Twitter, iGoldFord, Instagram. My website's goldfordmusic.com, all that stuff. Find me on MySpace and LinkedIn and Friendster and all those. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say MySpace. Okay, like that's fine. I guess people maybe. I'll be the
voice and your heart.